Hello, welcome to the Reasonably Effective Podcast. This is episode number 46 for those keeping score at home, brought to you by myself, Uncommon Fossil, and 10 Types. Why don't you say hello?
Yep. Hello, everyone.
And this week's podcast is your idea, so why don't you introduce it, because you'll do it
Like
better than
my
me.
idea, not you watching this idea, but my idea. And yeah, so we're gonna be
Yeah.
talking about. Actually, wait, no, this isn't. This is your idea, but
Oh, what? Well, perhaps. I guess maybe it's a combination. You can explain it better anyway.
yeah. So we're gonna be taking a look at the Pokemon, the Gen 8 Pokemon, and how
Yep.
good their cards have been. I've actually done this in the past, but there have been more cards since then. Um, and this will be multiple people, so hopefully it's better. And there are gonna be some I don't know. It's kind of interesting because a lot of them have a lot of bad cards. Um, I don't know if all
Right.
these Pokemon have like a good card. I think they might, but anyway. And this does not
Uh,
include. So you want to chime in?
Well, just for people that are ignorant of Pokemon, as I am at times, Gen 8 is the Sword and Shield era.
Yeah.
So although we're talking ones that came out in Sword and Shield block, but if they have ones under Scarlet and Violet, we're going to include those prints as well.
Yeah. And then we're talking about them if they have like their best cards. If they have like bad cards, we're not
Yep.
docking them for that. Um,
Right.
and also this does not include the regional like the Galarian forms of Pokemon. It also does not include the Hisuian Pokemon. I believe this does include all the DLC. I think I don't know. I don't play the video games either, but I believe it includes all the DLC. Hope it should. If it doesn't, then oops. But no,
Right.
the Gen 8 DLC, not the Gen 9 DLC. And then
Yep.
it doesn't have Melmetal. Was that the one in between? I don't remember. I don't remember if that I'm thinking of the right generation or if that's between 6 or 7 or 7 and 8, but it's not here. And then
Okay.
yeah,
And it's
I think
mostly
that's right.
final evolutions we're considering primarily.
Yeah, I think if it has a pre-evolution that's good, we'll group it in. Does that make sense? Or do you think
Yeah, I
we should?
think if it has one that adds value to it, and we're gonna generally focus on the good Pokemon in it. We're not gonna, I think, dock points in the tier list for having a lot of bad prints, right? If it's got 8 cards, 3 of them are good. You just ignore the other 5 when you build the deck.
Yeah. I
All
don't think
right.
there's anything else to say about that. So let's just hop in. We're both making, if you're watching visually, we're making tier list. I assume we're going to try to rank them in the same tier S, A, B, C, D.
Yes.
And we're probably going to shift them later on as well.
Cor- yeah, because I'm not sure how strong these things are going to be. So we will see as we move along. And on my video, I just realized that the tier net numbers were cut off, so I just shifted that anyway.
Oh, okay. So starting here with Rillaboom, hopefully they're in the
Yep.
same order they should be for us.
Right.
Rillaboom has had, I'm looking here, it has 7 cards, but most of them are
Hmm.
bad. In fact, there's only, and we're talking standard as well. One of these has been good and themed, but we're not talking about that one. Talking about, I assume
Right.
Voltage beat Rillaboom's the only good one here. I think the rest are
Yeah.
all bad.
I think, the ability voltage beat, once during your turn, you could accelerate 2 grass energies to one of your Pokemon. That was useful. Obviously, it was still wasn't it used a lot, but it could be used. And it had a V and a V max, or 2 Vs and 2 V maxes. They weren't all that great. So it's kind of meh, right? Is it like a tier C?
Yeah, I think C tiers. Yeah, I don't like how you said that because you like tiers like 1, 2, 3, so you'd say like tier 1, but it's C tier, not tier C.
Without, you're gonna have to get past that. So
We'll
I
see
think
about that. We'll see about that.
It's C tier. Is that what you said?
Yeah, C tier Pokemon.
All
I
right.
think that's probably. But yeah, I do agree with that. We'll see. It might be bumped up to B. I don't think it'll be dropped down to D. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how these things are going to place out very well, so there could be a lot of shifting.
yeah. Next up though, we got Cinderace, and Cinderace has had I think more cards. Yes, had a few more cards. Notably, none of these are really that good, but just had. Well, I don't know. It's had some decent ones. The first VMAX, not the single strike one, but that
Hmm.
had 2 attacks. You don't need to talk about it too much, but it was a decent fire VMAX. It wasn't like great, but I think it was
Yeah.
decent. And then we had 2 single price Cinderaces. The one with Crisis Power, it does more when you're like down. It does more for each project points taken, which is good.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then the other Cinderace with what's that, Libero?
Oh yeah. What did it do? You could move
You
energy.
accelerate to it.
Oh,
Um,
when it went from the bench to the active, it was a switching, and then you could move the energy to it, and it did 190,
yeah,
discarded two.
and,
But it's
it was decent. It wasn't like great. I think all three of these were like okay. Um, so the
yeah.
VMAX had was like really good for like a really short period, like a few weeks.
Was
Um, yeah, like just I don't know, just like popped off. And
okay.
then the rest were like okay. I think this is the same tier as Rillaboom.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if Rillaboom's better. Though I think the one Rillaboom card was a little better than any of these. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. But Rillaboom only had one good card. Cinderace has had three decent ones. I'd say Cinderace is probably I'd put it above. I don't know if we're ordering within the tiers, but
Yeah, I mean, we will as we go, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on it, I don't think.
yeah, I personally think it's better though. I think having you have three as opposed to just one, I think that's a pretty big deal.
Okay.
Even though they're not
I'll
as
go
good.
with, yeah, I mean, I never really played the Cinderace. Partly back on PTCGO, getting the VMAX probably was expensive for that week. It was good,
Um,
and
yeah, I guess
so anyway,
it wasn't that
anyway,
much.
okay, anyway, okay. But neither of these are ones to get overly excited about thus
Yeah.
far.
Um, and next up, you want us to talk about another one that's not very good?
Inteleon, huh? Which
Yeah. No, that's not. This one's
obviously
pretty good.
this one is going to be better than the other two for sure. And this one has we need to include the Drizzile, right, with the shady dealings to search for one, which was tremendous as well. And even the Saba with Call for Family that came out has had
Yeah, it was
value
with
too.
Keep Calling. Yeah, that one was
It it
solid.
it, it was okay. It wasn't as good as Drizzile or a lot of these. And then we have the original Italian VMAX, one of the early ones that you and I tried making a deck with. That was
It
eh.
was okay. Yeah, it
And
was
then
fine.
yeah, it wasn't the worst thing. It wasn't the best thing. And then Inteleon with Shady Dealings was very good, right? You drew two cards or searched out any two trainers when you played it down. The attack 120 for two was useful too, so that was very nice. And then the Rapid Strike VMAX was good with double gunner ability. Do some pinging there, and its attack does 70 plus, but then 70 more if you put energy in hand, which is Rapid Strike energy. You could Cheryl that saw some success. So this is
And then
quite
so you
solid.
mentioned the pinging Italian as well.
Oh, and
Um,
I did not. So as I should
yes.
have.
And so as quick shooting, once in a turn, you replace two damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon.
Oh
Kind of
yeah.
like the VMAX. It's pretty good.
Hmm.
I'd say, I mean, I saw more play and it was better. Uh, yeah, I think the main thing is the two stage twos and Drizzile. And then
Yeah.
the VMAX, like the Rap Strike was pretty good, and the other VMAX was
Right.
fine.
No, right. I mean, it's the single prize Intellions are what's great, as well as the Drizzile. But even this Intellion VMAX is better probably than the other VMAXs we talked about. So this is what? It's either tier A or tier S, right?
I think it's definitely yes. Like these are it adds a lot of like real like a few
Okay.
insane cards and a bunch of like
Hmm.
very solid cards.
Yeah, like half the decks that played used the Intellion engine probably at one point. At least it seemed like it.
Maybe there was certainly a time when it was like super dominant.
Right. We had scoop of net and format, and you could get set up any, just tremendous searching. So, yeah. So we'll be interested to see what else comes up to this level.
Next up we got. Do you know this Pokemon? Do you know what the next one is?
This is well, it's Greedence
You
because
do. Oh, does it say when you hover over it?
no, but
Have you?
I also have the list. I kind of knew what it was.
Okay.
I have a
Um,
list of all of them too. So
how do I spell
let's
this? Oh, it's ENT. I was like, why aren't there
yes.
any cards? And this it has. I think this is the first card in the list to have a new card, a Scarlet and Violet card.
Okay.
But it had one good card, one pre-evolution from Scarlet and Violet. I'm pretty sure it's probably evolved. Maybe I'm just imagining this, but it's the Squovit,
Okay.
which has been pretty good. From what set was it? Oh no, maybe it was Scarlet and Violet base set. But that was a good
Oh, this
card
right,
with
Squovit, right, the
Nestash.
one that yeah, you shuffle your hand, put the bottom of the deck, draw one card, which seems terrible, but obviously pairs well with the barrel. So the
Yeah,
Squovit gives it some. In fact, is that better than the Squovit? Is that better than any of these cards here? I'm just trying
yeah,
to.
it is. So the best one here, I guess, is Greed and VMAX, which takes 2 extra prizes when you take a KO, but it only does 30 for 2 colors.
Yeah.
And so you can attach a double turbo and do 10, which is bad. I saw some play.
Right.
You could do some like
It
funny things.
yeah, it did. So, but yeah, it was more of a just for fun type thing. So, yeah, Skwovet was the best card in the green family. So, wow.
I did have
I
a hit
mean,
and run single prizer. I honestly don't remember a lot of these. Oh, it had the one that searched for tools, and then
okay.
it had it
You got
like
to
the
search for
anti-hammers card. Uh,
right,
it had the one that
which
like discarded your hand. I think there was like a V. One of the V's was like control-y. You could do some like control stuff with it. Um,
okay.
I'm sure you remember all these, right? You
Oh
remember?
yeah, okay. V flip a coin to paralyzed, I guess, which is obviously very powerful. But
No,
coin
and the
flip.
other one. No,
Oh,
it's the
draw
one
three
that.
cards,
No,
or the other
it's
V.
the other V. It's the discard an energy from your opponent's active. You could like
Oh,
I
okay.
don't remember how it was
I
like you
couldn't.
detach for a double turbo and you can like memory capsule and you could like Cheryl. It
Ah,
wasn't
okay.
good. It was really bad, but it was a
I
thing.
okay. It rings a bell. All right. So, I mean, there's some. The Skwovet was the best card, right?
Yeah.
Um, which does that put it a B tier? Because Skwovet's definitely than
Um.
viable. It's better than the Rillaboom and
Well,
Cinderace,
I don't
right?
know if it. That Rillaboom might. It was probably better than the Squovet. I don't know.
It,
I mean, like base value wise, the Rillaboom was like a good card. The Squovet's not like
mhm.
inherently a good card. It just has
But is
synergy
Skwovet
with the
better than
barrel.
Cinderace? So is
Um.
Skwovet better than Cinderace
Well,
then?
like this would just. Well, I mean, on an individual card, the
It's
Rillaboom
the
is better
best.
than any of the Cinderaces. No, I don't know if Rillaboom might be better than.
What about the Skwovet? Though, is the Skwovet better than Cinderace?
Um. Well, if well,
Yeah.
yeah, I said
So
Rillaboom's better than both of them. So,
it
or
depends how
yeah,
you're.
I think.
So you want Skwovet below Rillaboom? It's not a D
No, I
tier.
think it's B. I think it's
I
B.
would
I do know.
agree.
I do think it's B because it has more cards. No, as in the
Okay.
individual Squovit was better than the individual Rillaboom, or there was more. I
And
don't know. I
and some of the other cards were viable. And like there's a green EX which I haven't even don't think I've seen we're in the EX era now. So
yeah, I've never have I played against it. I
look at the
don't
top three
remember.
cards in your deck. You put them into your hand, or you can discard them and draw
Yeah,
three
but
other.
then you have
That's a weird
210.
one.
You have 210 for 3. Yeah, that's kind of weird. You have 210 for 3. You could like tech it in if you're playing Squovit. Like it's not the worst thing.
Yeah.
Um, it's not great.
No, it's three and it can't. Well, it can't use that attack again. So okay, so tier, so a B tier,
Yeah, I think it's B. It's weird because it had like one good card that wasn't even gradient. And it
right?
had a
And the
bunch of
other
like bad
cards,
cards, but they were like kind of playable.
yeah, everything except for that Skwovet is worse than Cinderace and the Rillaboom. It would be probably D tier without that Skwovet, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so we'll put it in B and we'll see how things shake up. That's yeah,
Next up, we
the album is
got Corviknight,
Corviknight, right? So
which
make
had
sure.
oh, it does have a new card, but it's not that good. I think it's better than it sees play, which is none, but it's still a great card. Obviously, does the iconic theme deck one. Well, it's iconic for theme players, but the real star of the
Mhm.
show here has to be the Corviknight VMAX, which is okay. Funny art where it's like it looks weird in my opinion.
It's a
It's like a
it is
ride
a weird.
Pokemon. It looks like a helicopter though.
It does, but yeah. So, but we're not here rating the arts, but it's interesting, I guess. So, lustrous body prevents effects of abilities on this Pokemon, so it was immune to the Inteleon pinging. Pinging Inteleon was one of the big things. And then it did 240. It had free retreat, so it couldn't attack them, but it had free retreat. So it was, yeah. I mean, there's a deck that right. You could play that and just switch around and use your the cave
Yeah, Crystal
to heal
Cave.
it off. Crystal Cave, yeah, to heal it off, which was okay. Is what I would say to that. And then the other single prize ones weren't really that good, right?
Yeah,
Generally
the V
speaking.
itself was okay though. You could copy the V's attacks to do a few interesting things. You could like
Right.
play control deck where you like use clutch to stop him from retreating. There are a
Hmm.
few things you could do. But yeah, wait, do you want to say something about the single prize ones?
No, I mean, I did, yeah, with memory capsule. No, not no on the V with the memory capsule thought because you could then switch between the 190 and the 240 on the same Pokemon too, because it just said it can't use that particular attack the next turn.
Yeah, which was kind of interesting, but not very good.
No.
The one single parts Corviknight from Darkness Ablaze is like was the only way to scoop up like rule box Pokemon, which is like a thing, or like V's and VMAXs. So you
Mm,
could do that. Like you wouldn't do that, but you could do that. Anyway,
okay.
I think Corviknight's probably B, like above, or I'd put it
Yeah.
below Greedent actually. I don't know. I think
Below.
you could see either way.
I mean, because
Actually, no, it's
because
probably C. Now that I think about it, it's definitely it
is
because
it?
the VMAX wasn't actually that good. It was okay, but it wasn't that good. It was actually like a flop as well.
Yeah. Oh, that people were excited about it, and then it just wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. It was like okay. I think we're hyping it up, but it wasn't actually that good.
No, I mean we both played it. I think right. That's I mean, whereas like the Cinderace I didn't play, and the Rillaboom I marginally played. The Greedent we never played. I mean yeah. So you see. So is it better or worse than the other on C?
I'd say it's actually. I think it's Corviknight VMAX is worse than Rillaboom. Like Corviknight
Yeah.
VMAX wasn't very good. It was okay. It wasn't like a bad. I guess it was like a. If you're looking at the scope of all cards, like it's a good card. But if you're looking at the scope of good cards, it's
But
bad. Like
yeah.
it's not. It's like probably not in the top like 20 VMAXs we're gonna look at today. So I'd say it's
Okay.
like, or it might
All
be,
right.
but it might not be.
All right. That's fair. So bottom of C tier. We're sticking
Yeah.
that at this point.
Next we got, I guess my boy.
That's
I
right.
haven't played
One of
that
your.
much, but I played
You always
some.
talk them up though.
I talked it up. It's Orbeetle, which has had obviously a few cards, as all of them have, including the VMAX, which pings all your opponent's Pokemon if it's in the active, which is really good actually.
Mhm.
Its attack is super weird. I mean, it's not super weird, but it's not like a great main attack. Gmax Wave 50 and 50 more for each energy attached to all your opponent's Pokemon for Grass Colorless. This was arguably the best Grass VMAX we ever had, which is not a good thing, but it is a thing. And then it's had a few other cards. It has notably the Evomancy Orbital, not good in standard, unfortunately, but not completely unplayable. It's actually an okay card. It's control-y, like it's not necessarily a control card, but it gets a bunch of stage twos. It's
Right.
mostly used if you wanted to use it, you'd play it in control. And it's a really hard to play card, meaning that pretty much people just didn't play it. Not because it was bad, but because it was only okay and very hard to play and control, and
Yeah.
obviously not a lot of people like to play control. There's the other orbital, which did see some play in control, which is kind of like Trip Trip
Which one is
Isaacs.
that?
The first one with Bugs Radar um,
Okay.
came out, and I think Sword and Shield initially, and that was a card that you could like mess with, and then you had you of course have
Oh
the
yeah.
orbital that accelerates energy, but it's not to your Pokemon, it's to your opponent's Pokemon. Don't play that card. Um, that one's not as good.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're setting up the VMAX with it, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's obviously the single prizes are stage twos, which isn't great, obviously, especially to use it to set up something else with the
Mhm.
Evomancy is tough. My ordering of the cards is different than yours, so just don't say the first card.
Wait,
Just like
what's
you
your
said,
order? Sorry,
Bugs Radar was first. It's last here.
well,
Well,
last. No, I
I'm
said the first, like first released, which it is not the first. It is
okay.
last. We have the same order, but
Okay.
it's the
All
first one
right.
that came out, which would
Okay.
be
All
reverse
right.
order. Although it is a special art. The Limitless shows if you want one image per card, it shows you. I wish it would show you the regular art, but it shows you the newest
Yeah.
art. It isn't. Yeah, it does change the order of these cards because Orbital VMAX came out in Vivid Voltage. Anyway, so I think this
Yeah.
card is okay. I think
Okay.
it's
So where does that fall on? Is it a B tier?
no, it's probably not a B
You're a big
tier.
Orbeetle fan, so
I am
you're
a
going to
big
give it a
Orbital
higher
fan.
grade than
I
most people
wanted to give
would.
it a B tier, but it shouldn't be in B tier. It's probably like I'd
So
C
it's
tier somewhere. I'm just gonna. I
it,
think we shouldn't order these anymore. I feel like ordering doesn't really matter. Like they're not that good.
all right. I mean, unless we're going to need to shift some around, right? Because like at
Yeah,
this point, we have no A tier or D tier. We probably want to get some there. So
yeah,
I
we
had
will.
shoved at the top of C tier at this point.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. And then yeah, moving on to the next one. You want to introduce this one?
Wait, hang on. So Thievel?
Yeah.
That's the one. Hang on. I gotta type it up. I gotta look up how to spell it.
Okay, I got it here.
So go ahead if you got
So
it.
it has the iconic fumbling hand Stevel, when you evolve into it, it's like kind of like Marnie. You play Shuffle Your Hand, push on
Yeah.
the bottom of the deck draws 4. You're like all hyping this card. Well, you weren't
I
like really
did.
hyping.
I played that in
Uh,
Eternatus because
yeah.
this was you had Crobat V, which was a good card, but then you had this. You could and you had Scoop Up Net. So you want to fill up your bench with junk, and this qualified, and you
Yeah,
know,
it definitely qualified as
and you
junk.
got and you got more cards. So
Well,
it's
you'd
not the
actually
worst.
get.
It wasn't the worst thing in the world,
I
especially
mean,
with
it
Scoop
was
Up Net.
bad.
It wasn't.
I think the other one,
Believe me, there's a lot of worse cards that Pokemon's printed than this card, though.
yeah, that's true. So you have the other Thievul. There's the one from
Well, the ability. There's a lot of other Thievals.
yeah. There's the one from, it says it's from Crown Zenith. I don't remember the original printing. It might
Okay.
be Astral Radiance, but I might just be making that up. With Baffling, if your opponent has 2 or fewer prize cards remaining, whenever your opponent places a porter from the hand, prevent all effects of that card done to your bench. Pokemon V, it like stops gusting of like V's and V Max, which is actually pretty decent. It never really saw play, but I think it's not a bad
No.
ability. Um,
Right. Especially if it's
oh
just
yeah, it
a
was Astral
V,
Radiance.
then your opponent can't boss for game,
Yeah.
which is good.
So I still think this is D tier. Like I think it's really bad.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at these other ones at all to see. I mean, you did have nasty plot search for 2 cards put
But
in the
that's not
hand.
good. I
Was
mean,
that
it's okay.
did control players use that or no? It
Well,
was a
they've
dark
used, but
energy,
usually
which
on cards like that, but only if they're like tanky. So no.
well, and
Um,
it's not a colorless attack cost on that one, which is bad too.
yeah. Um,
So this is D tier. This one's not very good. Is this a D tier?
yeah. No, I think it is a D tier.
It's a D tier. Okay, so our first D tier. Um,
Okay, I'll do the next one here because it's good. It's not like super good, but it's pretty solid. You have Eldegoss, so obviously, good and themed, but we're not talking about theme today. I am because I am fixing on theme too much, but no. So we
right.
have the Eldegoss V, which recovers the portal when you play it down. It has
Yep.
an attack that was actually usable in control as well. It's not a particularly good attack, but it is usable. Gets out of play. And then you have the Eldegoss with Cotton Lift. Search your deck for 2
Mm,
basic energies, put them into your hand. And then you have the Goss Floor, which is Call for Family for 3. Normally, Call for Family
yeah.
isn't a huge deal, but 3 is the best. But it's the best Call for Family attack, I think. I was gonna say ever. So that's probably not true, but it's very good, and it kind
Mm,
of made the card better. Um, so yeah, I think
yeah.
Eldegoss is
I, is this one our first A tier?
yeah,
I
I
mean,
think it's A.
Eldegoss V definitely went into a number of decks. You know, as an option for
Yeah,
sure.
it was a very good card. Or it was a good. I'm not sure if
It
I'd say
wasn't
it's good or very good. Um, People don't really play like a bunch of different supporters because it's kind of like versus
right.
seeker, but like you can't play 4 of it. I mean, you can play 4 of it, but you don't want to.
No,
So yeah, I think
no.
A tier is kind of where I was thinking as well.
Okay, better than B tier. Better than the Greedent.
Yeah. Oh, you played dub ball, right? You played the V.
Um,
Did you? I think you did. Maybe
I
you
think
didn't.
so. Let me hang on. You jump ahead too fast
Okay,
for me.
okay, I got it, I got it. So double V, it has 210 HP,
Oh
but it
yeah.
has an ability where it takes 30 less, which is fine. It's not like
Hmm.
massive, like 240 is not massive, but it's a little awkward to KO. And then Revenge Blast, 120, 30 more for each prize your opponent's taken. So at the end of the game, you're hitting one-shotting numbers you're hitting 270 with one-shots like a bunch of tag teams, but not all of them.
Right.
And no VMAX, but it's like. This was sometimes played in Wild. It was played in Real Boombox, like
Yeah, I don't
with
know if I played it or not. I think it was also tossed out as like a Mad Party counter somehow because
wait,
the
what?
less damage. I think it was in days when there was a period of time when people thought Mad Party was good,
But they
right?
were like better. I mean, maybe they were better in Red
I'm
Card.
just thinking. I mean, that was like a weird. I think it was one of those weird tech ideas that was around for a week, maybe. So, did I play it? I don't remember. Obviously, it is good in a colorless deck as an counter, or maybe in the V Blissey V, right? As a late game.
I don't know. How do you like power it up though? It seems kind of
That's the
awkward to power up.
problem. Maybe I didn't. So I don't
I
know.
thought you played it in Welder Box. But maybe not.
Maybe it might have been one of those cards that was again. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. It was in or out of the deck.
Yeah, it was usually out. I think usually because like Cramorant, but
Yeah.
you'd sometimes play it. I'm looking on Limitless, and the decks that do play it are Welder decks, or
Okay.
mostly Welder decks.
All right. I mean,
And
you're not
then
using it till late in the game, so you've gotta be
oh,
set up for that.
yeah, I've never even like seen this. I don't think I've seen. I don't like recognize
These
two
single
of these
prizes?
doubles. I recognize the theme deck one, but I don't recognize either of the other two. I mean, they're not good, but I don't recognize them. So usually I
No.
recognize cards. So yeah, I think this one's probably C again. Probably bottom of C.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, the V saw some play. I don't know that it saw it. It was probably one of those in and out cards for a period of time.
Yeah.
That's where it's
Um,
at.
Next up we got
Okay.
Dreadnought.
Good.
Um, did this have any good cards? I don't think it did. Oh, it had the
Let's see.
notorious. It has the highest HP Pokemon ever. There's a Dreadnought VMAX that had 3,000 HP. Um,
Okay, but not here.
not a no, it's not a standard legal card. It is a real card. It is a real card. Well, I consider it a real card. It's not. I don't think it's a physical card, but I believe it is a real card, an official real card.
Okay. All right, so Dreadnought VMAX, 320 HP. It takes 30 less damage from attacks, so making it tanky too. 160, flip a coin, heads 80 more for 3. That's not real good.
Yeah. Yeah. I've definitely played against this card. It's not good.
Any of the other Dreadnoughts?
Now the best one's the theme deck one, which is Paralysis. We played Nessa, but that's not like good. I think this is definitely D
Right.
tier. I think this is
Yeah,
the
and you
worst
need
card.
3 energies on that too, and which was not easy to make happen. So,
Yeah, this is definitely D. I think
yeah,
lower than
yeah.
than Thievel.
Oh, you're giving some love for my boy Thievul. I like that.
Yeah.
So,
Next up, though, we got a pretty decent one here. Bolt Hunt.
right.
It had Bolt Hunt V with Electrify accelerating some energies and Bolt Storm doing a decent chunk of damage. Later on, printed a V Max with Bolt Storm as well as Max Bolt, which was just a very decent attack. Bolt Storm does more for each lightning energy attached to all your Pokemon, which
hmm
is nice. And then there was another V as well. I don't think this one really saw much play. Did it? It doesn't look like it did. Did the V Max? Limitless doesn't have the
I
VMAX in
don't
its
know that.
database, but it saw
Okay.
like some play. But Bolt on V was pretty good.
It
And
went in
then
the it went in Pikarom,
yeah,
right?
it went in Peaker. Um,
Because
yeah,
the Pikarom, you wanted to use an attack just to get energy on board to fall behind in prizes, right? That was part of what it did.
yeah. Which is very
Because you've
it was
had
good. It was
V's
good
that
at
stand
dying. It
apart.
was good at dying. Um,
It did. It did its job. It got knocked
yeah,
out then.
no, it was a pretty honestly mediocre Pokemon, but it saw a
Right.
bunch of play. I mean, I think a lot of people know my opinions on Pikarom that it like wasn't good, but it just won.
But yet it just kept winning all the time. Right.
Yeah.
Look, Bolt on V was a card in Pikarom. Pikarom was a top tier deck, so
Yeah,
you can't
and
deny that.
yeah, no, I think Bolton V is like a solid card. And then we have, I guess, two Boltons. The one is with Fighting Fangs. It does 180 to a V or GX. A
Right.
card like this would be good now, but I would like
Yeah. Well,
Zoroark Reversal. But assuming GX meant EX, but it's not.
yeah.
So this didn't see any play.
Right. And you didn't have the energy acceleration back. I mean, look, you could use your Bolt on V to set it up, but
Yeah.
that doesn't seem
Um,
smart. So,
the other Bolton did see, I think, a tiny bit of play. It's not like an awful card with Defiant Spark, 130, but if you have damage counters on it, it's only for 1, which is okay. There was actually
right.
Galarian Darmanitan, which we aren't talking about in this video, but from what's that? Was it a Fusion Strike, I guess,
I don't
which had like
remember.
the same, yeah, Fusion Strike,
Okay.
which had like the same attack, so you could use those together, I guess. But I think Boltund is probably A above Eldegoss.
But maybe. See, the Eldegoss got used in more decks. The
Yeah, but
V
not like as
and
consistently. I don't. I think Eldegoss is probably
yeah.
less played than Boltund.
Well, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of Pikarom
I
there for
guess
a while,
not.
so
Yeah, I could
no,
see.
it's and the other in the single prize that it accelerated
Yeah, I
that
get.
got the
Okay, yeah,
energies.
I'm fine
It's
putting it below.
close,
I
right?
think. Yeah, I think actually Elde. You've convinced me. Eldegoss is higher.
Okay. I mean, yeah, they're yeah. I mean, there's arguments both ways depending how you want to look at it.
Yeah. Next up, we got. You want to talk about this one?
Sure, Colossal, which had this was the tankiest Pokemon when it came out, right? Colossal VMAX.
Well, I mean, it was considered. It wasn't the most HP. I mean, Tyrannus had more HP, but it
Okay,
was tanky.
but it hit that for weakness, right? So Colossal VMAX 330
Although it didn't
HP.
one shot it necessarily.
Okay. Oh yeah, one energy did 40. It discarded the top deck,
Top
top card of
card.
your deck, top card, 90 more if it was in energy, right? And then you attached it, so that was nice. and you had ways to get energy back on top, but you're doing 130 on a 3 prize Pokemon. It's okay. The other attack was 4 energy to do 240, so that's a lot of energy to get going.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like this Pokemon is one of the one of the notorious flop Pokemon, right?
yeah,
Like this was the Vivid Voltage card. Like
right.
whenever people think of Vivid Voltage, they think of either Pikachu VMAX because like it's Pikachu. But
Hmm.
assuming they played during this time, they'll think of Colossal, which is bad. It wasn't hot trash though. It was actually okay. Like everyone
It
thinks it's
was
like the worst card ever, or some people like do. Oh yeah,
right.
it did really well. I clicked on the results. It did like really well in Japan. It did like pretty well in
Okay. Yeah,
Japan.
those
But they
cards.
had they had extra cards in their format that we didn't have here. Because like rotation was
So
different.
right, they had other cards that had rotated. I mean, the idea of it was a Vivid Voltage card, and Vivid Voltage in essence didn't change the meta, which people were annoyed about. They wanted some change, and this being one of the top cards from it wasn't really overly competitive.
Yeah. Anyway,
This
so that card was actually okay. Like
It was
it's not that bad.
okay, and then there's the stage two with the tar generator ability, which people might not remember, but they should. Once during
I
a
don't know
turn,
if
you
they
may attack.
should. I mean,
Well, you know,
this
I
played
played it.
in
You played it,
GLC as
right?
well. I did. Yeah. It wasn't good.
It was interesting, right? You accelerates. It's an odd one. You may attach a fire energy and or a fighting energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon any way you like. So it was accelerating two different types of energy, which was interesting.
Not like good, interesting though.
No, no, I mean that is certainly true.
Uh,
Generally, you don't. That wasn't the mix of energies you're looking for.
yeah. Obviously, fire had really good energy acceleration, so you would never use this just for fire, and you would use
Right.
this for fighting, but like fighting. I mean, I think I played Urshifu Colossal. Like that wasn't good. You played
Right.
Santakana Colossal. Did you play Santakana Colossal?
I think so.
I
I know
think
I did
yeah,
some fighting stuff with this, where obviously the fire was just a color's energy for the attack.
yeah. It's not like an awful card. And then there's also the Colossal from Battle Styles, which
Yeah.
was supposed to be it's not good. It's supposed to like it could combo the other Colossal.
Hmm.
Uh, Yeah, we don't really need. It had 190, or no, it was 180. I thought it was 190. But anyway, it had a bunch of HP, I guess. But yeah, this is
Yeah.
B, I think. Like, I feel like this is a perfect example of a B.
Yeah, because it was okay, disappointing.
Yeah,
So
two
put it.
two decent
Yeah.
cards though.
Yeah. So top of
It's
B, I'm gonna drop it in. I
Hoppa
think
just
it's
better
very
than.
good.
I think that the both cards
Well,
are substantially worse than Skwovet.
I know, but it's tough because Green's getting carried by the Squovit. That's the
Uh,
hard thing about the Green,
yeah,
right?
I think it's okay. Yeah,
So
I'm fine bumping Green down.
all right, I was gonna go your way too. I think it's either or, quite
Yeah,
frankly.
there are different ways to look at it. Next up, we got two Pokemon that evolved from the same evolution line, which is kind of weird. I think they're the only examples in that. They're not, but
And does this count as one
no, this
card
is this
then?
is two. 'Cause
This
they're
this is Flapple here first,
yeah.
right?
So
Yes, the next
Flapple.
one looks like it has an apple. So
Well, they both look like they have apples.
I guess so. Oh yeah,
They're
it's
both
coming
Apple
like
Poke. They
hatching
both
from
have
an
Apple
apple
in the
shell.
name. Um,
Yeah.
that's like the whole point. Anyway. Oh, did you know that Applin is getting a new evolution, like a stage two? It's So,
Really?
yeah,
No, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
I bet everyone watching
Okay.
this did know that though. Um, comment down below if you do
Oh,
that. I'm almost
do you
certain,
know
like,
more than Uncommon Fossil?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm almost certain, like, it's like a big thing. Um, it's the
All
Scott.
right.
Anyway, yeah, it's Diplin, and I don't think the stage two's been revealed, but I'm pretty sure it's confirmed, essentially confirmed. Um,
Okay.
which is
Is it
cool,
in the
I
video
guess.
game already?
No, well, I don't play. I don't know. It was the stage one
Okay.
is Diplin, which is a third stage one.
Hmm.
I believe. It's not
Okay.
Driplin. I don't think it's Driplin. It'd be funny if it's Driplin, but I don't think it's Driplin. So yeah, Diplin, which is a new stage one, and then
Hmm.
I don't know if it's in the game or if it's coming in the next DLC. It's probably not
Okay.
out yet. But then yeah, I think some people are saying something like a Hydra, which is cool. But anyway, we'll wait for that.
Okay.
But
All right. Well, go ahead.
So Flapple. So Flapple VMAX. Applin did not get a VMAX. He got a V, but the V was awful. And the funny, I bet you also didn't know Flapple VMAX and Appleton VMAX have like the same VMAX.
What do you mean
In the
by
video
that?
game, they have like
Oh,
the
okay.
same. But yeah, so that
Uh,
means that
all
Appleton
right.
got the short end of the stick. So there was the other so Flapple VMAX was pretty not great. It's like a very average Grass VMAX, which is not a good thing. There was the Flapple
Right.
from the promo Flapple, which I believe was in the Reggie Draco deck on the ladder, I think.
Okay.
Or it wasn't in
What
a
the single prize here?
yeah, which is like really bad. Or maybe it was
Accelerate just for what the
I don't know. It was
acceleration?
just I don't know. It was just there. I definitely I think it was. I know it wasn't in the starter deck, right? That wouldn't make sense. So yeah, I think it was in
I
the.
don't think so.
I think it was yeah, probably for acceleration. But then
Okay.
obviously we got two iconic Flaffle. Well, one iconic Flaffle for many people and one iconic for us. But that acidic
Right.
mucus, it's the same thing as
Yep.
Scizor. It does 10 less. It's for one colorless. Arguably, it's better. Doesn't hit weaknesses. It's Dragon type, lower HP as well. The
Right.
Flapple, but a very good card, right? I think this is a very. It's probably the best Zoroark partner we've seen.
Right. Goes in Zoroark can go in
Anything.
the
Oh,
the
oh, Regidrago.
the V Star. Yeah, Reggie Drago. Right. Can go in
Yeah,
that
it's
too.
okay. It's not that good because usually you can copy things to do more. Like honestly, fighting tackle might
Yeah.
do more than um, acidic mucus. You
Okay.
would never use this, but it could.
Okay. So so that's a very good card. It gets played now, and then Flapple
Well, it doesn't really get
from
played now much because Scissors kind of pushed it out. But yeah, it is still good.
yeah, and then the one that you and I both played is with the Apple Drop ability. Once during a turn, you can put two damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and then this card gets shuffled into your deck along with all attached cards. So you could get four of them off each turn. You could do 80 damage, boom, every turn, stream
Yeah,
seamlessly.
yeah,
But
yeah. You can use. Yeah,
you were doing 20 or 40, and then you're doing it what in Catterday deck, I think, is part of it,
I
and
did.
things
Yeah,
like
we
that,
did it in
right?
Cat. I did it in Canada. It was probably my favorite deck I've ever played. It's really hard. It was weird and not good,
Hmm.
but it was okay. You could like play super well. Like if you played the perfect game, you'd like win. It was like super rewarding to play like well, but it wasn't that good.
Right. You like this, and I like the one, the wheezing with the was it Roxy?
Yeah,
Where you had to get damage spread somehow. This was one of the options for that.
yeah. Anyway, so Flapple was a card which is okay. This like the older one from
Yeah.
Rebel Clash. And then yeah. So
So
overall, I'd say this is B.
right, acid mucus is decent. Still, it's been so B. Yeah, somewhere in the B.
I'd say upper like top of B.
Yeah,
Um,
it's seen more play probably than the other ones.
yeah. Next up,
Yeah.
Appleton. It had yeah, this one's not good. I think the Appleton is better than the Flapple in Reggie Draco. Appleton V is literally like
Oh.
the worst V, maybe. I don't know if it's the worst V. It's really bad, like horrendously
Does
awful.
100 for three. Yeah, it heals 30, but it's HP's at 210,
I
not
think
the
the
biggest
better
thing.
attack is probably the first attack, which is 30 for
Headbutt
one. It's just like not saying. It's just so
on a two prize Pokemon.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is like horrendously awful. So anyway,
but
uh,
yeah,
the
the Appleton with thick mucus, 70 per special energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon is obviously Zoroark and such. And there's times when it's been very good.
yeah, also I think the art on this one's really funny. Um,
The
like the
Yeah,
it,
the thick mucus one or all of
yeah.
them.
I mean, I think the thick mucus with like the eyes popping out and like the head like popping off it, or the hat like
Well, I just realized now because we're in the holiday season here, and pies are baking, and it's a pie, right? It's gonna get
yeah,
tossed
I
in
know
the
it's
oven, and
yeah.
that's not good for this poor Appleton. He is prepared to get tossed in the oven, and it will not end well for
Yeah.
him.
Well, she's already been tossed in the oven. I don't
Okay, all
know.
right.
I mean, it
So
looks cooked, right? It looks cooked.
it does, yes.
Anyway, yeah. So
So thick mucus good, and then the other one,
this
delicious
was
aroma.
not
Flip a
great.
coin, and then you get to gust.
Yeah, I've
You
definitely
switch. You
played
get to choose,
this.
right?
Yeah, I've definitely played this. It's definitely not good.
You could fill your
Um,
bench with 4 of them, then you get 4. Then most
yeah,
turns you're going to get
yeah,
flipping
I've
heads at least
I've done
once.
that. I've
So
done that. It doesn't work.
yeah, yeah, those are things you're not proud of. I can tell.
Yeah, I well, it was like an option Zohar control, right? Because it like gusts and it's a
Right.
stage one.
Hmm.
But obviously it's not great. It actually wasn't that
No.
bad. It's an okay card. I think it's better than it saw playful, which was none. Oh, it only gusts basics though, which is
Oh, I missed
yeah,
that part. Yeah,
which I
that's
always
a
forget,
big
and everyone like always forgets, which is not great. But not actually.
no.
It's not like the end of the world. It's just not ideal. But yeah, this one's probably C. It's just probably like bottom of C.
Uh,
None of these cards were
okay.
great.
I mean, the thick mucus it saw some play, right?
It saw like some, but it wasn't good. I mean,
It saw
it
some
wasn't
play in
like
Zoroark,
yeah, it was
right?
just Zoroark and Reggie Draco is kind of tossed in.
All right. I mean, it might be better than some of the others in C. Just that one card on, but
Uh,
it's hard to say.
yeah. Um, yeah, anyway, okay. Next up, we got
One of
six.
my
Oh
boy.
yeah, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, hang on. Let me get him up here. So, Sandaconda, he's got what? He's got 7 cards. So now we're talking. We're back to this. So, Sandaconda VMAX with the Sand Pulse attack. It does 60 to which I don't know what more you want for that in a 3 price Pokemon for 1 energy, and then 20 to each of the bench Pokemon. One
Your
energy.
opponent's benched
Your opponent,
as
yeah, I'm
well.
sorry, your
It
opponent's
doesn't.
bench, which is good, and then you could Cheryl every turn. And then eventually, if you didn't have to Cheryl, you'd build up a few turns, and you could do 180 for 1 turn and move the energy around.
Whoa.
I know, and then you say, "Oh, all right, I'm getting knocked out," so you can move around your energy however you want after that attack, which is actually a nice thing too. But it took a lot of turns to get him powered up.
Yeah, it was like
Um,
one of those Inteleon engine, like whatever generic VMAX. I mean, it was spread, but it was like it was kind of
right.
like Dragapult, but like bad, or like Urshifu. I think it was often compared to I compare it to Urshifu, which
Yeah,
does
it was
not.
nowhere near as successful.
Yeah, Rapid Strike Urshifu.
So
The
yeah.
actually the best Sandaconda was the one with big sand cannon, which is discard the top. Okay, this one was like, let's see. Okay, there aren't any decks on regular Limitless, but there are certainly decks on Play Limitless. I want to pull up one. And I'm sure you can find. I think under Battle Styles format, presumably. Um,
Okay.
Someone played it. I know someone played at Pog. I'll find it under their Pog. Um, but yeah, it was it's discard. Oh, maybe it's not here. It's like discard the top 6 cards of your deck. Um, which is obviously a lot. And then for each
Yes.
fighting energy you discard this way, you do 60. Um,
Yeah. So you're talking big damage
yeah,
there.
so you'd play a lot of energy, like a lot of
Yes.
energy.
Those
This
type of decks that are really smooth to set up.
Yeah, they're like this isn't as much as I thought. It's only like 27 or like 28. I mean, it's like still a lot,
Yeah, I
but
mean, it's fun. Obviously, look, I think the VMAX is better than this one, but
I don't know. In terms of
I'm not sure.
play, I think
Well, probably the single prize saw more play because it was more fun, right?
yeah, it
It
was
might have been
funny.
better. I don't know.
I didn't
Um,
play either, I don't think. Oh, it had two
and
Vs
then
as well, which are like mediocre, honestly. They weren't that bad. The first Sandaconda
no.
V, saw play with the Colossal. Actually, this was the original partner for Colossal.
Hmm.
It does 220 for 3, which isn't like that bad. I mean, it's like kind of like Zacian, which we'll get
Right.
to, but it's not great.
Right, you could do that. I'm looking here. You got the latest one. Well, it's a Scarlet and Violet, right? Sandstorm Spray. You can still play it. Does for all you need is 4 energy on it, and you discard 2 energy, and you shuffle your opponent's Pokemon in all cards into their
Yeah, no,
deck. If that's the last card in play, you've done that, right? Where you
I
shuffle it
haven't.
in
It's
and you
actually
win the
like
game.
directly worse than other. It's not good.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think we're taking too long on some of these bad ones though. We gotta get
All
to.
right. So okay, let's speed it
So
up here.
this will be the bottom, like F. No,
Bottom F.
we can put it in like
Bottom of
C. You want it somewhere in like C, right?
you can
Probably.
put it bottom of C. It's definitely worse than the Flapple,
Uh,
right?
you mean
Or the
Appleton?
Applin. I mean, yeah, maybe
Appleton.
not.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I think bottom of C is fair. But now we got honestly one of the best, I think. That's Cramorant. It had the VMAX, which is okay. It had oh, it had continuous gulp missile, which was okay. But then it had the V, which was good,
Hmm.
right? Um,
Yes. Yeah.
in
We.
Welder,
Yeah.
like very very good. And
Right.
other things, but mostly Welder. And
Right.
then
Because Spit Shot 3 energy did 160 to any Pokemon, including the bench, and the GX was a big engine piece. So two prizes, 160 HP.
yeah. I think and the Lost Zone Cramorant. This is the
Right.
the I don't know. It's really good. Yeah. Like it just really attacks for free if you have four cards, four more in the Lost Zone. It does 110. It's just
Yes.
so good. I
Hmm.
think this has to be S.
Okay. Below the Inteleon, right? Just because the Inteleon engine was so good.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, as an
Um,
attacker, it's better, right?
well,
Because
I mean, I don't even know about that. Yeah, it probably is. I think we can put it below Inteleon. Um,
okay. I mean, both very good.
yeah.
It's yeah.
Next up, we got Arcuda. I don't remember how to spell this. Okay,
ARR. Yeah.
OQD. Yeah, no, Barracuda. Wrong one. Uh,
So we have three Aracudas
no,
here. Oh
Barracuda.
no,
I said,
Barracuda. Oh,
yeah.
you tricked me there.
This had the two Barracudas. The one that did 20 for each damage counter on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. It was like the Caturday Esper. And then you have the other Barracuda, which does 130 for one on a stage one, which isn't actually that bad. You need to discard two water from your hand to do it, but that's not like that
Yeah.
hard to do. Your favorite card, Capacious Bucket, worked on that.
Got
Um,
that. Yeah.
yeah, I played these two together. They weren't particularly good. Um, and then the other one is worse. It's 50 for one. That's not good.
Yeah. So he's certainly underwhelming.
Yeah, I guess it's D.
Okay.
Top of D, I think.
All right. Yeah. It's not as good as Sandaconda, right? Sandaconda, you could play and not be embarrassed. This one, hey,
I don't know.
when
I
you
don't know
when you
about
have
that.
play in the deck and have fun, don't
Yeah,
be
I think you will
embarrassed.
get embarrassed. I think you're gonna like get obliterated. You could get lucky and like roll your opponent with the single prize rate with the VMAX. You can just lose. All that good stuff.
Hmm.
Toxtricity though, that has had a bunch of cards. Um,
11 cards, but are
yeah.
this one's not playable, is it?
Yeah, light toxicity isn't like exactly a real card.
Yeah. So
Um,
10 actual legitimate cards.
yeah, I did not know I had multiple Vs. Wait, are these actually?
Yes.
It did. I don't remember. Anyway, I
Yeah.
had a
Yeah, they're
VMAX
different.
which is okay, 160, but it does
Most of
240 if poisoned.
Yeah, I mean most of these I don't really know, I
You
gotta
don't
say.
know
So
these? You
that's
don't know Risk Taker Toxtricity, the Mill Toxtricity, it's the coin flip card. If flip coin, if heads, mill fire from your opponent. If
Oh,
tails,
that
mill
one.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew it was an option. I never played it. I love Mel, but
Why does it
and I
look like
love
he's
flipping
about to
things.
give you like the finger?
Well, because it depends what happens with the coin flip. He
That's
just
true.
may
That's
do
true.
that, I guess.
Oh, does the spread one? Oh, I forgot about some of
What
these.
does the spread do?
It's not. It's
All
20 to
right.
each. It's actually not that bad.
Oh, you can punk shock. You can paralyze your opponent's Pokemon, which is good.
Yeah. The best of
So
these is none of these are that good, but a bunch of them are like
no.
okay. Like we got three Toxtricities this year. We got the EX, which is someone said like it's like the worst EX, which might be true. Um,
Well, I mean, it's good in your lightning deck for the mirror, right? Because it hits the
yeah,
weakest.
that's
Then
true.
I mean, that's what it. But yeah, this isn't very good, right?
No. So I'd say it's probably still like C. I
Yeah.
could honestly see it in B.
And part of it's got so much stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure, if depending if you want to get weird, you can find one of these cards to toss in something.
Yeah.
S-
I guess. I'd
So
say
what do you?
top of C.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Next up we got your boy. This is not your boy, but you can talk about it and then I'll talk.
Scent Scorch. I got to call it up so you can start talking if you have it. But
Yeah, so Sense Coach VMAX was like really good. It also was just it had
yes,
what's the burn one? Oh yeah, they like can't recover from burn. Anyway, so Sense Coach VMAX, I mean it's good with Welder, like damage ramp. It's really good.
what
Um,
is it? 40 per each fire energy attached.
yeah, 40 plus 40 per.
40 plus 40. Okay.
It was very good when it had Welder able to rotate at some point, but
And there
it
weren't a
was.
lot of VMAXs, so 320 HP meant it wasn't getting one shot pretty much.
I mean, yeah, it was good until like Water became good, and then it wasn't as
Yeah.
good. Like Water became really good. But I'd say Sense Scorch is top of
Yeah,
B, I think.
it was very good for a while. Any single prizers? Anything particularly good?
No, nothing particularly. Oh, there's the Mill Centiscorch, which is called like Mill, and it's like a centipede, so it's called Millipede, which is like a name. But yeah, no, this one wasn't very good.
All
Apparently, it
right.
saw play in some actual decks in IRL tournaments.
Which
Oh wait,
attack was
no,
the
they're
mill?
actually both online tournaments, but they're on regular lists. It mills for each
Okay.
fire energy attached to it. Yeah,
Okay. All right. So,
I think top of B though. I think
top of
it's
B.
yeah, the
Yeah,
VMAX is
center
really
score. The
good.
B max was very good for a while. So, fair enough. And then it fell off hard, and none of the other cards were particularly strong.
Yeah.
So
Next
was
up,
it Graplock?
yeah, Grapple Locked. This is one of my favorite Pokemon in the TCG that I don't play. It had the V, which is I don't think very good at all. Yeah, that one was pretty bad. Um, and had a few like control cards when they like stopped retreating and like
Right. Does 30.
increased
Can't retreat.
attack cost. Which one? No, there's
Well, the
two.
one.
They like all stop retreating.
Do they? I'm sorry. So Full Nelson does 30, and then the next turn it does
They can't retreat. Oh,
yeah
then it does.
50 plus 120
Y-
plus yeah, so 170 plus
but that's
30 from
like
the
bad
previous.
because you're probably gonna die.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, so there's the Stranglehold Master and the Octolock one. They pretty much just make it hard to retreat, and like do stuff.
Oh,
They're both okay. I
yeah,
mean,
that's
they're
two
like
more,
bad.
which two more retreat cost is a big thing, right? Spidops
Which
isn't
one? Which
terrible.
one are you talking about?
Well, the Octolock,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
If it's an attack, it's not an effect. But and the other Graplock is also Stranglehold is by 2, so it's increasing by 2 is quite meaningful.
yeah. So it's then they're like kind of different, but similar ideas. I think they're not like I don't even think I've ever played any of these. I'm not sure if I have or not.
Yeah.
It's I think it's in D. I hate to
Yeah,
say
I
it.
mean, honestly, I it's these are cards that I honestly didn't know what they
You
did
didn't know
until I
these
just looked
cards?
at them.
Oh.
I did not. I never considered playing them, and I feel I should have been playing or Stall years earlier, right?
Yeah, yeah. So,
So,
oh, next up though, we got one of your favorites, one of my favorites as well.
yep. So Poltegeist. The problem
Um,
is you got to type the whole word out to get it right on here, which slows me down.
yeah, and most of it. I mean, I feel like this is like one of your favorites though, right?
It is like Poltegeist in the Mad Party deck, which mentioned, and T Break. It was the engine, right? You discarded a Mad Party attack card with that attack, and of course that's what you want to happen. Draw 2 cards, and then 20 per Party card in the discard pile. And so it was a lot of fun, and it actually was a decent deck for a period of time too, right? With
Yeah,
the
definitely.
with the weakness, and even before then, it wasn't terrible, right? For as far as single prize decks go, it wasn't a bad one.
Yeah, I think it's one of the more well-known ones. Not very broken, but like okay. And then there's the V as
Right.
well, which is not as good. I think this is also in contention for one of the worst Vs. Yeah, it's not good. I kind of forgot what it is, but I think
You
it's
put
this
it, well, yeah, I guess it goes in control. If it's damaged, they put
card
a card.
attached to the hand on the
You
bottom of the deck.
choose, right?
Oh, it's
So there you
random. You
go.
choose randomly.
Oh, okay.
So,
It does 3 for 130. Yeah, and it does. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. So it had one good card,
but
really.
that card is pretty. I could see this in
It
B.
was. Okay.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's fun to put in B, so we'll put it in B. Um,
So yeah.
Hatterene, it's just yeah. It's just had a V max, which you could do some stuff with, but you wouldn't. It had a bunch of stage twos. Were any of these any good? I don't think. I
Let's
always forget which one's
see.
which. But there's
Right. They have abilities. So
they're all like super mediocre abilities. They're not bad. But they're not great. I think this is bottom of C.
yeah, I'm kind of skimming through, and yeah, nothing's particularly good here. Is what
Yeah, you
I'd
could do
say.
some like control stuff.
Right.
The
You could
Shining
try
Face
it.
and or the which was this from? Was this Darkness Ablaze? I don't remember. Um, but yeah, you could do some like funny stuff, but it wasn't very good. So was it top of
Yeah.
D, bottom of C? What was it?
Yeah.
Bottom of
Either
C.
I said
Let's
bottom C. We'll
yeah.
do that.
We got Grimstarl next. I misspelled it.
I'm like, what's that one do? I gotta say,
It has a
but
VMAX that was talked about way too much. Like people like it didn't like constantly bring it up, but they brought it up some, and like it was just bad. So yeah,
does
we don't really.
50 for each extra energy attached. Oh, that's beyond the 3 for the attack cost, right?
Yeah, so you could
So you could do 270 if you got 5 energy. Wow. Okay.
yeah. And I think honestly the big issue is that you can't like one shot stuff. If you could, it would be okay, but you can't.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I think the rest of these are all bad. Um,
Dark Oath makes your opponent's attack cost 1 higher if it's in the active. So I could go in maybe some control-y thing, but it's not great. It had a
Y-
single strike card, but that I don't think was great either. So this is not real
Yeah,
good.
there's the one with long hair shot. It does 30 free, 30 snipe, 20 points bench for each dark attached to this Pokemon. Which is like something I've definitely seen it. I think it's not very good, but I've seen it. This is D. I think this is probably
Okay.
where's this guy? I'd say in between Thievul and Barraskewda.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to certainly quibble about where it goes on in that thing.
Yeah. We got Galarian Obstagoon next, or
Obstagoon, but not
Obstagoon.
Galarian, right?
Well, that's the controversy of it, right? I
Right.
think all the next ones are Galarian, or a bunch of the next ones are. And people
Okay,
are
these
like,
are
well, they shouldn't be Galarian because, well, in the video game they're not Galarian, but in the TCG they are. Um, anyway, so we had the best one, which is probably the one with Obstruct, which walled off basics and also, well,
right.
yeah, and then it also
And what's the
damaged on
ability?
play Ping 3, which was pretty
Oh, ping
solid.
3. Yep.
Um, and saw play with Decidueye. Decidueye Obstagoon to me is a deck that I know it gets like brought up a bunch. Like Decidueye is definitely the
Okay.
better part of that deck, but um,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
Obstagoon was pretty solid. And then there was the Wicked Ruler one, which is a control one. I guess it wasn't good, but it was a card. And then there's the Silence and Merciless Strike Galarian Obstagoon, notably the worst counter to Mew VMAX ever. Um, it's the one that it was a counter to Mew VMAX, but like it didn't
You
like
had
work.
to.
But it was a good deck outside of that.
I mean, it was attack for 1 energy, so it would do 150 if they had damage on them already, right? So they would one shot as long as you had a goon to ping with that turn two and evolve your
Yeah,
stick.
but if they had Fusion Strike Energy, you couldn't ping them. So
Right.
that was kind of awkward. And you just like that was kind of weird. But so then they had
Yeah.
to having to add like extra text from UV Max. But the deck was okay. It was an okay card. I say this
So
is
it's not terrible.
pretty good. Like the first one was good.
So is it
I'm
what is
tempted to
you
say
think it's a B? A B?
I think
You
it's
think it's
at least
A?
B. I think it's top of B.
All right, top of B. Okay.
Ooh, next up is it's your boy
Berserker. All right. So let's take a look. I misspelled it, so I think.
Perrserker.
Okay. No, there it is. Okay. Oh, it didn't because it's Galarian. So this one had an ability. No, wait. This is not the one with that, right?
Hmm. There's the one
What?
with the ability, but the
What?
basic,
Steely Spirit?
yeah.
Oh, okay. It was the basic that let you discard. Was it two from hand and then search for a Galarian Berserker? If I
Yeah.
remember.
So there's the Glen Meowth with this, which is it was mostly just used to discard two cards in your hand, used for like combo stuff. Mad Party. It was a really fun
Yeah.
card.
Hmm.
And then it was mainly used to search up the Berserker. Or I mean, no, if you were searching up a Berserker, it would be the Steely Spirit one,
Right.
which was okay in Zacian, I guess.
Right. Your metal Pokemon did 20 more, so it had value, but usually it was there just usually just had the basic not to get to the stage one. And the other stage one base, I'm just trying to take a
Yeah,
look.
no, there's
Do they
the one from Vivid Voltage is like a control one. I played it. It was so bad.
20 what flip 3 coins?
Yeah, and if any of them
They
are
reveal their
heads,
hand,
yeah.
discard a trainer per head. Okay.
So you could see how it could be useful. You could see how it
Yes.
could be like trash as well. And then the other Glen, the V, was actually pretty good in my opinion. It does 20 for each card in your hand, which is not a bad multiplier. When you had Iron, when was it Metal Saucer, you could do that. Then you could do like my
Right.
low deck, and you could like draw a bunch, and it was okay. Um, yeah. Overall, I'd say this is B. I'd say this is like honestly, I'd say it's above Flapple.
Of Flapple. Okay, between him and Poltegeist, huh?
What?
Flapple. Well, I don't know how you ordered it.
Yeah, I guess our
So
list is different. It doesn't matter. It's somewhere in B,
no.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Glaring Cursola. Oh, this is a card or a
So
bunch of
yeah, again,
cards.
I don't know what this one does. So
There's the V. Bad. It wasn't the worst, but it like completely bodied Mad Party. Because as long as it's in the active, when your opponent attaches an energy from their hand to one of their Pokemon, they place 3 damage counters on it. But then there's something else which
right.
places more damage counters on it. So you'd like attach your energy to
Mhm.
your like Bunnelby and it would just die. Then they attack and they would KO like your Bunnelby and then your like Sinesti. The next turn you attach
Right,
to
because
Bunnelby and it would die and then they'd like KO more of your opponent. Anyway, so there was yeah.
yeah, so that was fine. Obviously,
Um
as a Mad Party character, that's fine. It's not moving to S tier based on that for sure. Um, you had the Galarian Cursola that with a coin flip, perish body. If it's knocked out, you flip a coin. The opponent might be knocked out, which is just for some fun, but that's probably it.
yeah, I definitely
There,
lost to that.
the others aren't good. So
Yeah, there's only three. The last one is actually interesting. Put a basic V from your opponent's discard pile onto the bench if you do put damage counters on until its remaining HP is
oh
30.
yeah,
We looked at the
yep.
what's it called? The green V Max earlier, and you could play it with this,
Hmm.
but obviously they could evolve out, which would be really bad, so you don't want that to happen. But it was
Right.
okay. I mean, it wasn't good. It was pretty bad, but it was a card. I think it's probably sneaking its way into C tier.
Yeah, yeah. It's not trash certainly. So just
Yeah.
what mid C or something.
I'm putting it at the bottom of C.
Okay.
But whatever. Next up, we got Glen Surfetched, though. Glen Surfetched V. That was good. That one was weird, but it was very solid. In Resolute Spear, this ability once during a turn when this Pokemon moves from the bench to the active, you may move any amount of fun energy from your other Pokemon to it, and then it does 200 for
Yeah.
3. So this was obviously a fighting Pokemon,
Right.
and so it hits weakness. It one shots Eternatus. People would play. I played it in Mewtwo and Mew. That was like so sketchy, but I did play in that. And some
Okay.
people did because it's not you play like Aurora energies and like basic energies, but you can't accelerate the Aurora energies. I mean, you can, but not super conveniently. So you'd like
Mhm.
have to manually attach twice, and then you could like do it, but it was okay. But if I was playing the Turbo Duckin deck, with
Oh
the
yeah,
the
that's right.
turbo, like you'd turbo this out turn one using Galarian Zapdos V. Again, we're not covering that
Hmm.
today, but um yeah, that was a thing.
It was a thing for a little bit. Yeah, that's
Uh,
um
then there's the single strike one and the theme deck one. The theme deck one was actually okay. 180 for three
yeah,
isn't like that bad. Um, and
right.
then the single strike one I played, it wasn't that good. Did you play this one? I played this with Mustard. It was
No,
not
I
good.
mean I did some single strike, but I never played this one. No,
Yeah.
not the Surfetch. So it's
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 probably
okay.
like B.
It's a B. Yeah, I think it's a B.
I think we've been
So
getting more generous as we've gone along. Maybe not, but I'd say
that's
like solid
probably
B.
okay. Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure we've drifted around a little
yeah.
bit
Oh,
more.
Mr. Rhyme. Um, That is a card. It had a V. It had a
Yeah,
I guess
Fusion
the
Strike V.
last Fusion Strike Pokemon I think. This one was I wanted to do like U VMAX control. I like was gonna play this, but I never did.
Oh,
I
search
might
your
try.
deck for up to 3 item cards.
Yeah, which seems like
I guess.
funny,
Yeah,
but not
yeah.
great.
The
I
other
mean,
attack's not good
yeah.
at all.
You have the screen cleaner one. I don't exactly remember. Oh, it's for all effects of it attacks except damage done to your Pokemon that have energy attached. We've seen this a lot of times, and this one didn't see any play, but the
Yeah.
other ones have a little. Then obviously Bad Party, and then
Yes.
um for anyone
And
who
then the
likes
and then the
balls, we have the Glaring Mr. Ryan with ball juggling. Discard any number of items with the word ball from your hand. It does 40 for each one. So
I know
yeah.
I've been trying to make that deck too, but I don't have these cards, and it gets too expensive to do the ball juggling because I don't think it's
Wait,
gonna be any
which
good.
cards? Wait, I thought you.
I don't think I have the Mr. Rhymes
It's not
with
that
ball
much. It's
juggling.
like
It's not. Well, it's like
it's
400.
400 per. That's a
Yeah.
bunch, I
And
guess. But like,
I think I have one, so it's like, that's
wait,
like
when
two
were you trying to do
EXs.
this?
I think
Recently or?
recently. Yeah. I never give up on these things.
Yeah. Uh,
That's how you know it's bad, though. It doesn't. So what do we have? So we have the Mad Party one that was you just discard it. You never got
yeah.
it to play, and that's the best of the bunch.
I'd say it's like somewhere in C.
Okay.
I couldn't do
Is it
anything, but it helped.
is it like high C just because Mad Party was solid?
No, I think it's probably low C because like it wasn't that important. I mean, you had to play the Mad Party, but like it didn't
Right. You
like do
just wanted to
anything.
discard it. That was it.
Yeah.
So
I guess it was better than Dedenne because you couldn't like start it, but Oh, it had an ability
Exactly.
which is actually interesting. Once during a turn, you may switch one of your opponent's face down prizes with the top card of their deck. Um,
Ye There are some decks that played that, right?
I don't
I
know.
think.
I
Some control, I don't know.
it was super weird. Like, because it's generally it's like not good because you're actually giving your opponent more access to their prizes. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, if your opponent like Oranguru something on the top of your deck, this would be hilarious. It's like, oh, I need the game-winning boss. I'm gonna keep it on my top of my deck. So if they Marnie me, it's all good, and then you just send it to their prizes. But yeah, no, I've never seen that happen. So yeah, this is
Alright.
somewhere in like C, I think.
Alright, so we have the, Galarian Runerigus, right, for the next, which has
Yeah.
2 cards, which I gotta look quickly because I don't know what they are at
Oh,
all.
you don't know? There's
Uh,
the one that's the counter to Eternatus, and there's the one that's the spread based on how much damage is on it. Um, oh wait, no, this isn't the counter to
for
Eternatus,
each
but it's oh, it kind of is a counter to Eternatus. It's if it's damaged via V max, it returns the same amount of damage, which is pretty honestly okay. Um,
yeah, right, and
wouldn't
Eternus
be
would be
much.
hitting you for big damage, but
Yeah,
yeah.
and then you KO him back with your attack, because you hit for weakness. I mean, you'd possibly KO him anyway, but you'd almost certainly KO them. You'd be hitting 160 back, which
Yeah.
is pretty solid, on top of probably taking at least 120. So yeah, that's pretty good. And the other one is Spreading Spite, which is for each damage counter on Glenn Rodriguez, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. I played this
No,
with
not just one, but on them as you want. I don't think it has to be a one Pokemon
yeah,
either,
yeah, and any way you like.
which is
So I played this with Charum uh and the Old Cemetery.
yeah.
It went about as well as you'd expect.
Okay,
Um,
so,
I think I beat Mad
I'm not
Party once, like barely though. But I mean, I like, which like shouldn't be hard. Like I like KO'd all. I think I KO'd all their. I might have board wiped
right, with
them.
a spread attack, you should do really well against that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I might have KO'd. I think took 5 prizes in one turn.
there you go. Okay, so anyway, it's not that great, right? Is this a tier C?
No, it's probably D. It's pretty bad.
D. Okay,
Um,
so just somewhere.
yeah. Next up we got Alcremie. Ooh, this is
Oh, got
interesting
it's got at
one.
least one good one, right?
Yeah, the VMAX, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that saw play. The VMAX in Shadow Rider, right? Well, you could discard any amount of psychic energy
It
from
doesn't have
just
to be psychic
energy.
energy.
Just no any energy from this Pokemon. It did 60 for each card. Discard that way, so you'd build it up over time. And it was a threat, kind of a late game threat, if I recall, in Shadow Rider for a period of time.
Yeah, mid to late game. Like you'd like to set it up early, but it was kind of hard.
Right. It would take right because you're discarding your energies too, and you're hopefully not getting one shot. And once you're in the active, you can't accelerate Shadow Rider, so you kind of gotta. And the retreat cost is 3,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
um,
Overall, though, I
all
think
right,
this
the
one's pretty
others.
good. There's the Cafe Master one. There's the one that accelerates all your energy, and then there's the drawing one, I think. Oh yeah, this is the one that lets your opponent like forces your opponent to draw. Um,
Yes, you can, but you don't draw yourself. You can just make your opponent draw. So,
no, each player. So you do
oh,
draw
each
yourself.
player.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, but it's
Um,
it's either both or none.
yeah. So I've definitely, I think I played with all 3 of them, but I don't know if I have. I've certainly thought of decks with all 3 of them. I'm not sure if I played all. I've definitely seen decks played
Yeah,
with all 3 of them. Um, Not
but
too
the
many.
the, the VMAX is the good one. I
Yeah,
think it's
honestly, this is
safe to say. The others
C. I
are.
think this is like top as, or we could say B maybe.
Yeah, I think it was an important card in Shadow Rider for a period of time, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, Shadow Rider
therefore,
kind of fell off like kind of
it
abruptly.
did. Yeah, it did. And without Shadow Rider, it wasn't any good, and the other ones weren't all that good. So you want to put it in C then?
No, I think bottom B is fine.
Bottom B. Okay. So we got
Oh,
so
that's
Phalanx.
yeah, Phalanx, I think. I don't know. Yeah. So that had. Well, which one do you want to talk about first?
We'll hit the V first,
Okay.
which is all your Pokemon that have Phalanx or Phalanx in the name take 20 less damage. So there we go. You can build up this 80 less tanky wall, although the HP is not that high. 160 on a V
Yeah,
here, which
it's
is
the
very
lowest.
bad.
It's the lowest.
Um, but it would take at least 20 less just by having
Yeah,
itself in
yeah.
play, but 210 for 3 and it can't attack next turn, obviously underwhelming there. So
Hmm.
it was more to help defend your other failings, right?
Yes, you had the
Um,
single prize phalanx. You want to talk about it, or should I?
so team attack did 30 for 2 energy, 2 colors, 30 per each bench Pokemon that has phalanx in the name. So you and obviously you could play 4 Vs and 4 of the single prize. So you could fill your bench with 5. So you're doing 150, and then you're taking hopefully a bunch less damage. You might survive an attack.
Yeah,
It seemed okay.
yeah, it
It's
wasn't
two
good.
energy. No,
Yeah,
because it's 2 energy. If it was a single energy attack, it's still not great, but with 2, it's definitely not so good.
yeah. Out of the rest of these, most of them aren't good.
No, it
Um,
has a rapid strike card that
yeah,
I
the
didn't
Rapid Strike one was
remember
okay.
existed.
Yeah, it's seen some play. Like it's kind of like the equivalent of like Stonejourner. It's in single strike. It does 20 for each your Rapid Strike Pokemon play, which isn't that bad in one Rapid Strike energy. Um,
Right.
if you're looking to do a decent amount of damage on a basic fighting Pokemon in a Rapid Strike deck, it's decent. It's a single prizer, and it can
Yeah.
get the job done. It's
hmm
not good, but yeah, I'd say this is definitely C as well.
Okay. I think that's fair. So just somewhere mid C or something.
Next we got Pincurchin. It had
So
the
what's this? All right. Good.
paralysis one. It had the V. I think this V was also really bad. Uh, yeah, that one was bad.
The V.
The spread one. It had, I don't know. It had a bunch of cards. None of them were good. I think this is like D.
I. Yeah. I think it's going to be D. Yeah.
You don't
I've
recognize any of these guys, do you?
no. I'm trying to skim through it very fast, and none of them. I mean, I don't think I played them or consider playing them, and I'm not sure I came up against them either.
Yeah, I've definitely came up against some of them, but I don't think I played any of them. I might have played the spread one. It's actually nice. It's 10 to each of your opponent's Pokemon, which isn't that bad. I've played worse. Well,
Right.
I don't know if I probably played worse, but yeah,
Yeah. And 80 HP is not as bad as some, but
yeah, it's not good.
all right. It's
So yes,
still
somewhere in
D
D.
though.
Yeah. Next up we got Frostmoth. Did you play
Yeah,
this?
which is
Did I played this?
yeah, for the energy acceleration, right? So
Yeah.
with Ice Dance, when it was what is it? Oh, as often as you like, you can attach water energy from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon, so only to the
Bench
bench,
water Pokemon as well.
bench water. So I definitely played this in something.
You might have played an
Uh,
Ice Rider.
I might have, yeah, it was certainly an
Yeah.
option in
There's an
Ice
Inteleon
Rider.
box deck as
Yep.
well.
So yeah, I liked water decks, so certainly it was a consideration there. And then the other Frostmoth, I don't really think.
It's actually okay. So it does 160 for Water Water Colorless,
Yeah.
and then put all energy attached to this Pokemon back into your hand, which is actually good in Zoroark, to
Mhm.
preserve reversals. Like 160 isn't that bad. It's certainly okay. And
Yeah.
you only have 4 reversals, and otherwise you just lose it. So it's actually okay. It's not great
Okay.
though, but it's not unplayable.
Yeah, but when it came out, there wasn't reversal, so I guess the idea is you'd have a frost both frost moths, so you could accelerate up another one next turn. But
Yeah.
that
Um,
wouldn't be so good.
no.
So it's a what, tier C?
C.
You think what? It's
It's got to be at
D?
least B.
B? Okay.
Well, because the
For
other one was good.
the ability, yeah. No, it
Um,
saw play.
I think
It
I'd say
wasn't.
it's somewhere in C or B. I'm sorry,
All
B.
right.
Maybe I'm
B,
tempted to
like
say
mid.
A, but I don't think it's A. I think you'll be mad if I put it in A.
Because look, I played water decks. I was the big water deck
Well,
player,
you played
and
Melanie water decks. There are Melanie water decks and Frostmoth water decks, and
I got and Melanie was just better. But it anyway. Look, it's a
well, they're
consideration.
different. They're very
You
different.
want it top of B or where do you want it?
I'm just slapping it somewhere in the middle of B.
All right.
I think hopefully people are still listening, but we are
Yeah, it's gone
dragging on.
long.
But we're getting to the best ones. Well, I don't know about the best ones. The next one's Stonejourner.
So what was
Which
the
is
VMAX here?
it's the
Att-
iconic. It's the most toxic
att-
VMAX ever. Uh,
oh yeah, so you attach a fighting energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. If you do, you heal 120 to that Pokemon. So, and of course you had Cheryl for evolutions too. So you could just make it is 330, so it's tanky. So you could just make it infinite, and your opponent would just make no progress whatsoever. And yeah, a couple content creators got the videos, and were all over the ladder for a little bit, if I recall. It was
yeah.
depressing days.
Yeah. So that one, it was okay. And then you have the Stonejourner. You have the supporterless Stonejourner, which you played and then cut from your non-supporter deck, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was intended for that. Which one is that? What's the attack
Does
name?
190
Oh, yeah.
for
Mystery
Mystery.
Press, which was, yeah. I think there were better options in that deck, but yes, that was designed for that. I did play the single strike one in a
Yeah,
single
and that
strike
one's actually
box.
good, or not that good, but it's seen a lot of play. Oh wow, this is much more play than I thought it saw. I scrolled through the limitless page. That's a lot. In single strike league, yeah. Um,
Okay.
so
And I played
it's
it pre-Lugia
yeah,
because it did 120 for 3, and you had the single strike energies to get up the damage. So
yeah,
you could one-shot multi-prize Pokemon that were weak to you.
yeah. Wait, go.
So
Did you
it's
look on the open all
I
deck
don't
lists?
I don't have that open at the moment though.
Well, click. Can you click it? Can you scroll down?
To online, right?
No, it on regular deck lists that include this card. If you scroll down, if you're on Stone Journey, you scroll
Wait, so
down.
click Dex.
No, you click on
Wait.
Stone Journey. You're on Stone Journey, right?
Oh, click on that Stone Journer. Like right
Yeah,
click
so
on
you're
it.
on this. No, so you clicked on the you're on the Stone Journers page, and this is for anyone as well
That
watching.
card.
Yeah, and then you scroll
Uh,
down to the bottom of that page, and you say
oh,
open all
tournaments.
deck lists,
Okay.
and then you can see all the decks it's played in.
So it was yeah. Okay, Lugia,
So that's
Lugia.
a
Oh,
lot of
Lugia.
decks, right?
It's yeah.
Which is much more than I thought. This is like probably like 200 decks, maybe not, like a lot. So
Yep.
that was pretty good.
So
Honestly, it's top of B,
yeah, I don't
and
think it's good enough to be A, but that level of play and the success it saw, I think it makes it a B.
yeah. Next up we got Ice Q. Ooh, so it's had the walling one, the basic walling one.
Right.
And then it has the Fusion Strike one, which is pretty good. Like it's actually very good. I'm tempted to say Ice Q's an A.
Because it gives you an option to hit the bench and fusion strike.
Yeah.
Um, you think it's an A because of the walling one, which was very good for a
Mostly
period
because
of
of
time.
the snipe. Like it's part of Mew, and
The
Mew's
fusion strike.
debatably the
Although
best
most
deck of
Mew
all
decks
time.
don't play it though most of the time,
I
and
think they do
I've
now.
played Mew
I
and
think
I
most
put
Mew
it in it
decks.
at times.
I
It's
think
okay. I mean, it's got an EX that's not good, right?
yeah. Well, I think
Um,
most Mew decks play the Ice Q.
so you want to put it A then? Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna put it bottom of A just because it's a tech in another
Yeah,
deck.
I don't
It's
think
not
it's like
a
super
feature
good, but I think
in
it's
that
better than
deck
a lot of
even.
the B tier decks.
Probably true. Probably true. Yeah. All right. So now we have what Indeedee?
Yeah, so I want to check on how many. I think around half the decks play Ice Cube. Just checked. Yeah, so Indeedee.
Okay.
Um,
So 7 cards. Just trying to look through. It's got a V,
yes, this has like
which
a big mess of cards. Some of them
right.
are like okay. It has an attack that evolves, and has an attack that can use in the first turn of the game. Oh wait, those are the same. No, I thought it has. Yeah, it has an attack you can use first turn going first. Has an attack that evolves. Has an
Yeah.
attack which is hand based, and then the V. They're all and they're a bunch of mediocre. I'd say this probably ends in like C.
Yeah. I mean, you could try it. It's a card you can try in a lot of things, right?
Oh yeah, or you could probably most decks could use an NDD, but most decks don't. I don't
Don't
know
right.
if
But you're
any of
probably better. Wait, you're probably better off without it. But you give it a try,
yeah. So
right?
yeah, somewhere in C. Um. Ooh, more Pico. This one has actually just recently had a really good card come out. Um,
So the free retreat one.
Yeah, which is not like super good, but it's pretty solid in Roaring Moon.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, we get our first V Union card too.
we do. Is this the only one?
I
No,
don't even
it's
remember
not the
what
only
this
one.
one does. So it's not the
It's
best
like
V Union card.
it's probably the worst. It has this
Yeah. So
attack that like it does. I think you discard all lightning from it, and it does 100 per. It can like one shot, but it's not that good. And then
it had the single strike one that
that
you
was
could.
okay.
No, exactly. It wasn't. Yeah, it was okay at best, but it wasn't garbage. Is my
Yeah, it
point.
had the V and the V Max, both of which were all right. It had the hit and run V. Um, and then it
Yeah.
had the VMAX was like snipe. It wasn't that good, but the V was okay. But then the best one is honestly the Torment Morpeko, which did just that. It was a control card. It says choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks during your next
Hmm.
turn they can't use it. There have been lots of attacks like this. This is the best. Being lightning type is actually really good because it you can use speed lightning energy, and you can
Hmm.
search it out as
Yeah,
well.
that was
But
good.
Yeah, I think
So,
this one's.
so is it a B?
Yeah, I think it's B. I think it's upper B. I think it's like the top of B.
Okay. It's not an A though, right? I mean, I don't. You're not gonna
No,
see.
not yet.
I can hear it in your voice. You want to slide it up there.
Yeah, I do. No, I done the other control one too. That's fine, I guess.
I mean, we probably should get some more cards in A, but
Yeah, I think
this
we
is
will. I think the better ones
okay.
are at the end, like the legendaries and stuff are.
Okay.
We might have
Maybe,
actually been weighting some of these too high. Uh,
may,
I have a
we'll
feeling
see.
a
Okay.
lot of the legendaries are gonna go in A and S. Anyway, so Copper Raja had an EX. I always forget about this card. Um, oh yeah, no, this is one I played in like Lost Zone. Someone like played. Really tanky, right? 300 HP and takes 30 less as a stage one. That's like insane, right?
Wait, which which one?
The EX,
EX?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and it does 260 and 30 to each of
Mm-hmm.
your bench, which isn't good.
Oh, right.
But
Oh, not your opponent's bench. I was gonna
yeah.
say. Okay.
And that was it. Like, the one was in GLC, the VMAX was bad. Um,
Yeah.
I think this is
It's not.
C. It might, or is it D?
I'm just trying to think what you would have played. Like, there's a single strike one, but I don't think that was
Yeah,
any
I think the
good.
best one's the EX, which is
Yeah,
actually
and
decent.
that's
It's not like that bad. It's not that good. I guess it's probably D. No, it's probably C. Some of the ones in C are pretty bad. I
yeah.
think it does sneak into C.
So it's in C somewhere. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh,
Uh,
okay. Now we got the four that I think you need to talk about as they did inspire your name. Um,
so
the
so
rare
this is
fossil
the
Pokemon.
so the Dracozolt, the Arcazolt, the Dracovish, the Arcavish.
Yeah, is that the right ones? I think it is.
I I'm just so I got a all right. So the Dracozolt, which was a deck that saw a decent amount of play, right?
Yeah, this is the other hated deck.
Yeah, I remember this is right. Got just way overplayed. So Spark Trap did 60. It was damaged during your next turn. Put 12 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So that was pretty rough. And of course, one energy you can share at 330 HP. So it's not terrible, right?
No, it sucks to play against. Yeah. So I think,
So
and then yeah, this the other one wasn't very good. I think
no, I
it's
don't think the others are too good.
probably uh
Is it a?
B. Yeah,
I
I think
think
it's
so, because
B.
it was like mid B or something,
Yeah,
low
mid to
B.
low B. Like I think it's very similar to Stonejourner, but it doesn't have other Pokemon, so I think it's B.
Okay.
Then which is the next
Arc
Draco?
Arc Arc
Oh,
Arctozolt, right?
Arctozolt. Yeah. So this one had a single prizer, which was whenever your opponent attached an energy from their hand to one of their Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. That was the one that paired with Legal and Cryssola. It was probably better. I'd say it's
Hmm.
probably D though. I think it's bad.
It's D. Yeah. Okay. You don't care where it goes, right?
No.
Okay. And what do we got? And then Dracovish.
Yeah, Dracovish. Oh, this one had the one that if it's in the active, your opponent can't evolve. Um,
Oh, as long as it's okay, which didn't see much play, but
no, but it was like
obviously
funny.
very nasty, right? If one played it. And then the V, is this any good? A water grass, which is a very awkward type
It's
match.
not, I
Although
mean, it's not
water
like
with
that
melody's
awkward.
not bad.
It's just it looks weird. Like it seems out of place. But yeah, it's slosh and crash before doing damage. So it's 60. You
You
discard
want to
tools. If you discard a tool from your opponent's active, you hit 180, which isn't that bad.
right, and
Um,
tools have been popular at times.
yeah.
210 can't attack again with the other attacks. Not real good though. So it's
Yeah.
is it C? Is it D? It's not very
I think it's D. Yeah.
okay.
Top
It's
of D. And then we
yeah,
got the
it's not unplayable.
then we got ourselves the what's it called? The Dracovish?
Arctivish.
Arctovish. No, I said it wrong again. Um, yeah, this one was really bad. Like
So
this
this
one
one
was the
had
the worst one, I think.
220 can attack for 4 energy on the V. That's brutal.
For you, it's
It's
just like it's bad, right?
oh yeah, it's bad as an attack. Yeah, you don't want to use that attack. Would wall off V's and GXs.
Yeah, but it stops
Not
them from
terrible.
attacking, but it's not immune to them. So it's
Right. Stage
um
switch and it just doesn't work.
yeah,
So
I think it's D. The single prize was bad. I think it's probably like one of
yeah.
the worst.
So like near bottom of the D.
Yeah. Next one though is better. We're starting to get to the
This
good
one
ones.
is Yeah,
I thought
very
this.
good now.
I almost for some reason I thought this was a pseudo legendary, but it's not like at all. I don't know why I thought that. Anyway, oh, and this one is getting a new evolution as well, which will be fun, I guess.
Okay.
Are there
I
even
mean,
any in standard?
so it's Duraludon. So we've got the VMAX, which is very good, 220, solid damage number, not hits through effects. Skyscraper immune to special energies has been very good at times, or pretty solid at least.
Yeah.
Um,
Honestly, yeah, it's been very strong.
yeah, it's been a top tier deck, right? Depending on what's going on. The other ones are okay, right?
Yeah, there's the Metal Sharpener one that saw some play in like Zacian based decks. And there were two Vs as well, which is a thing worth noting.
Right. The
Um,
older V was better generally because it took less damage, and back in the day with Metal Saucer, you could accelerate to it.
yeah. Um, oh, there's the
So
other Duraludon from Vivid Voltage as well, which is actually very similar to the old school Reshiram and Zekrom, which were very good. But it wasn't. So anyway, I'd say this is A. Or
yeah,
no, I'd say it's B.
you think B? So that's top of B then I
Yeah,
would
top of
think,
B,
right?
top of B.
Because Duraludon was a very it worked with Zashi and it worked with Arceus later on.
Mhm. It did work
So
super well with Zacian.
that's true. That's true. Having played it a lot, yes, it was very high roll.
Yeah.
Um,
And then
so
next
what are
up
you
though
on?
we got
Dragapult?
Dragapult. Let's go.
Your boy.
So this had the VMAX. Oh, it had Dragapult Prime. You can't play that. A cool card. You can't play it. And then the Max Phantom though, it's kind of like Kafagrigus EX. Dragapult it does
Mhm.
130 and then 5 damage counters on your opponent's bench and we like, which is pretty solid.
Yeah.
And there was a Dreepy as well from there was an Infiltrator Dragapult, good in GLC. But then there's a Dreepy that said it's Fusion Strike. Has it seen competitive like tournament play? Yeah, it's seen some tournament play. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat, so you can like trap your opponent with Dreepy, which is funny. Um, yeah, and the Dragon Balls I think
Okay.
A.
Yeah, I think it probably is. It was a top tier deck, and it kind of hung around and came back and such. So
Yeah. Or actually
somewhere
no, it's probably B. I think it's B.
you got above Dralodon.
I put it behind. You want it behind Dralodon, don't you?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Next up, we got I think a pretty good one here. One that was we thought had like an insanely broken card, and then it got like another insanely broken, or another very good card. It's this Zacian. Well, it has 14
Yeah,
cards. It had this isn't even like a
it's
real
got
card.
well, it includes the V Union,
Yeah,
which
and it includes
not.
level X.
Oh, okay. But Zacian V for its attack, doing now I gotta find it because
Which
the alt
one?
art
There's
makes it
there's two.
confusing. Well, the Brave Blade, Intrepid Sword one. That's the big one, right?
Yeah.
Intrepid Sword, great ability. If you went first, super good. Look at the top three cards, can accelerate to it. 230 damage for 3 energy, 230. At this point, there weren't many, this is one of the ways to get to that level of damage. So very
Yeah,
good
especially
there.
on a basic. Um,
Yes.
and then the newer Zacian V with Roar the Sword, Storm Slash. It's so good in Gardevoir. It's just the best. Like it's the simplest, easiest attacker. It's very
Yeah.
very good. Accelerates. It's really nice. There's a
Mhm.
couple of decent single prize ones. There was a an amazing rare that saw a little bit of play, not a ton. It wasn't particularly good, but what was
Right.
playable. Um, and then there's the V Star. I don't know if I said that. Not great, but
You
again,
didn't,
you
but
could
it was
play
it
it.
was okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Zacian
Um,
is S, I think.
yeah.
So
Is
where's
it
it here?
It's above Cramorant, right? Is it above Inteleon? That's the question too. I think it's better than Cramorant.
I don't think it's above Inteleon.
So between Inteleon and Cramorant, you good with that?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay.
And next
It
up, you
was
want to
one
talk
of the
about
poster arts for Zamazenta, which had the first one that came out was the V, which was tanky, right? Regal Resistance. Oh no, that's not the right one at all. These alternate arts keep throwing me off.
what's
Dauntless.
Regal stance. Yeah,
Yeah, so
Dauntless.
Dauntless Shield, so it was immune to VMAXs, which of course was very good at times. And then 130 for 3, not great, but then you discard a special energy, so that could be useful in matchups too. I liked Zacian with Luke Metal back in the day, so a nice tanky way to go. And then it got a V later and a V star, right? Although I don't see the V Star. Oh, there's the V Star,
Yeah, it should be right next.
which had Zacian's V's attack, which for whatever reason,
Yeah.
that's what they did.
So that was a card. I don't really know if that saw much play at all. I don't think it did. But then there's also the newer
No.
Zom. Oh, there's the Amazing Rare, which is okay.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, better than Zacian's Amazing Rare, but still not that good. But then
Mm-hmm.
Zamazenta from Crown Zenith was arguably one of the best cards from Crown Zenith.
Right.
It does 220 if one of your Pokemon were KO'd last turn. Super solid. And Lost Zone
In
probably
Lost Zone because you need to
Gudra.
get the energy up onto it.
Yeah, so pretty much only played in Gudra builds, but it could be played in non-Gudra's builds as well. But it's still very
Right.
solid.
Yeah. And then the others aren't really so meaningful, I don't think. So,
You know.
and
There's
there's
the fighting one you could play in Colossal, I think. I don't even remember if it
y-
was like in format at this. I think
was
it
it?
was. Yeah, it must have been. Um, but it
Yeah,
wasn't good.
but no, Colossal wasn't good by that point anyway. So,
Yeah,
so
I think it's
Zamazenta
A.
is it? I mean, Zamazenta is a big step down from Zacian, but
Bastion's really good as
it
well. Like
is.
I think this is
So
better than Ice Cube, I think.
it is. So between Ice Cube and Bolton, do you think, or is it
Yeah.
jump? Okay, I think
Um.
that's
Ooh, next up, another one that had.
my
Um.
my boy Eternatus.
Yeah.
So the
So you want to talk about it?
which just has 3 cards, yeah. So the V Max, which was, you could get up to Eternal Zone, got 8 bench Pokemon, and then 30 damage per Pokemon in play. So you get 270, which was thought to be high at the time, at
I mean,
340
it still is
HP. So
pretty good.
it is, it is. But now you can get to it easier without 3 prizes, right? And at 270 damage, at 340 HP, obviously, it's still very tanky. It's the V's power accelerated attack to accelerate energy was useful. Um, Obviously, it was a top deck
Yeah, I
for
played the
a
V for
while.
the second attack too, because I am
Is that
special. It one shots like Dragapult and Shadow Rider. So if you have like, I don't know what I played it in. It was kind of sketchy, unsurprisingly. It was probably Wildermute. It was. Oh no, I think I played in ADP. Yeah. Um.
okay? All you need is 4 energies attached to it.
Yeah,
So,
it's just that easy.
but and you had Crobat V and stuff, which isn't part of this. So good tools. And it was a top deck early, and then it was a top deck at the end. Wheezing it made a comeback late too, which was a bit of a surprise. And then the Radiant Pokemon, which never really saw a lot of play, but you could accelerate 2 V maxes and put them onto your bench. You could do this turn, and then your turn ended, but you could get 2 V maxes and play turn one
Yeah,
if you wish to.
and arguably better in my opinion is like the stat line 200 for 3 is like super good on a basic. I just
Yes.
fire die colorless, which is a little awkward.
Yeah.
But it's not like the worst. I mean, it's not great, but it's payable in Lost Zone, and then you have 170
Right.
HP. It's kind of like a different version of Radiant Charizard. And I'd say it's okay, but obviously it turned is super good. I think
V
this
max.
is
So
it.
is it S tier? Is it A tier?
Um, I think it's
I mean,
A. I think it's top of A.
okay. It was a super strong deck a bunch of times, right?
Yeah, only one card though, like isn't like Radiant Eternus is okay, but not that good.
Correct. It's a one. Correct. It doesn't have any breadth at all. So
Yeah. Next up we got Urshifu. This had a few good cards. It had 2 good cards. It had the two
right.
V Maxes, which were very good. Um,
Yep. The rapid and single.
yeah, I
Yep.
don't think we need to talk too much about them. Most people know
No.
them, and they're very good. I think this is a clear S here.
Yeah. The single strike single prize was played some as well. I will just
Yeah,
say
I mean
that
the
in
Rapid
passing.
Strike was played some as well.
Yeah. So what would you say? A tier?
No, I think it's S.
S? Yeah.
I
And
mean, it had like
especially on the rapid strike one, right? Because that's been a dominant card a lot.
yeah, but it's had 2 like super good cards.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. And with the energy accelerate the Archeops, right? it's super great with that too. So what is this
it's
like?
okay with
Behi-
it's
is this
decent.
behind Zacian?
Yeah, I'd say it's between
Above?
Zacian and Cramorant.
Okay. Yep.
Uh,
I'm good there with that too.
Next up we got Zarude V, or Zarude, which had not V, it had a few cards. None of these were that good. There, a bunch of them were like pretty okay, good GLC, all
Yeah.
that good stuff. Um,
Zarude was the people thought when Gardenia's Vigor came out, this could be the pair, the combo to work, right?
Maybe. I think it
And
clearly
obviously
wasn't.
nothing happened with that. So I mean that's
Yeah.
not doesn't speak well for it. So this is
But I
it's
think it's
pretty poor, right?
Yeah. Um,
Is it C?
it's not like that bad. I'd say it's B.
You think it's B? I'm gonna put it at the
No, I
bottom.
could yeah, bottom of B, top of C,
Bottom of
somewhere there.
B's.
I'll put
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Anyway, next up, Reggie Lucky. This one's better. Um, I how do I spell this? Okay, I got it.
You got it.
So it
I
had
got it
the
too.
VMAX, which is good. It
Which
had
I've yeah yeah
which
it boosts your basic lightning by 30, and obviously Miraidon's been good. The
uh,
V's good too. I
the
mean, what's
yeah.
it? And the V is even better a lot of times because the lightning wall, some switching bolt, like if you can't do anything, you hit for 30, send up something else to the active isn't bad. But lightning wall 100 for 3, and then it takes 100 less damage the next turn, so it's almost as tanky as the V Max, which is 310, but gives up one less prize. So very good there.
I mean, it hits
And
less as well. I don't think the V's better than the VMAX.
there's times that you just got to be aware of it.
I
Though.
don't know.
You
Yeah,
don't forget about it.
it's a playable card. The VMAX has a free retreat as well, which is cool.
Yes.
220 for 3 is decent. But then you have the two
Hmm.
single prizers. The one
Yep.
is super good in control, the Astral Radiance one, um, which I think is really fun. But also, obviously, in the Reggie deck, they are necessary.
Right.
I
Yep.
think the older one is better in Reggie's, but it doesn't matter that much. I mean, better some, but uh, it
They
mattered
do
a lot
different
before.
things.
Yeah. Um,
Right.
so yeah, this is a good card. I think this is A,
Is it A?
or it
Okay,
could
it's
be
not
S.
S.
It could be
I
S.
don't think it's
Yeah, I think it's top
no.
of A. I think it's above Eternus.
Above
Well,
Eternatus?
I mean, it does 3 good cards. Like,
Maybe. For breadth, yeah, or even 4. Because I think you
yeah,
like those
yeah.
single price because the V is still a viable card unto itself. I mean, you don't
I
play it without
guess.
the V Max, but look, I'm just telling you, if you play a Regieleki deck, I mean the V, you don't forget about the V.
Yeah,
So okay, top of A.
yeah.
That's
Um,
the
next up we got Reggie Draco, which is decent. I mean, the V Star is good, and the two single prizes are good. I think it's
yeah. Look,
worse than Regieleki.
well, the V Star is very good. The problem is the energy cost of grass, colorless, right? I
Fire,
mean,
grass,
that's
grass, fire.
grass, fire. I'm sorry. That's a big problem. But the attack's very nice, and the ability is pretty solid too. But this is the I mean, back when Net was in the deck, this was the engine piece of the Reggie's deck, right? You could draw till 4 cards and you scooped it up.
Yeah,
It wasn't a great engine, but
no, and you
so
can't use multiple of the ability in one turn either, which is not great. I mean, it doesn't matter
right,
that much because you really wouldn't want 2 down, but even if you could, you wouldn't.
right. So it's but what is it? B tier?
I know. I think it's still A. I think it's
I
still
think
A.
it's A. It's a
I think it's bottom of
okay.
A.
Okay.
All the cards are decent, but they're all, I think, worse than the
I mean, it
Reggie
could be
Lucky.
better than Ice Cube and stuff. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
let's say above
is
Ice
that
Q, I
is it
guess.
even better than Zamazenta? I don't know.
I don't
That
think
gets
so.
close, right?
Yeah.
There's different. Okay, so
Now we got 3 Pokemon that aren't really 3 Pokemon. Um, so we got Glastrier, yay.
well, I don't even know what
Which
that one
no
is.
Glastrier. Well, so these are the Shadow Riders. So I guess we
Okay,
didn't talk about these before, but I'm assuming Shadow Rider Calyrex will include the horse and like the rider. Like, so
okay, because
are you gonna count Ice Rider for Glastrier? You probably are, right? Or you not?
am I? So what am I? So Glastrier is part of Ice Rider. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's
Glastrier is not very good, so we
no
don't need to
Glastrier on
discuss
its
it.
own is I've not. I don't know if I played. But yeah, so there's just one Glastrier, but then there's obviously Ice Rider, which
Yeah,
is good. I forgot there's
yeah,
2 Vs for this. We're very good. And then
right.
Shadow Rider as well. Um,
Hmm.
and then in terms of Calyrex cards, there was Spectrier. You played that. I made you play that.
What's that one?
That's the one that I put in the Ditto box. It does 20 to 2, and it does what?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, so and then Calyrex obviously has
So
the Shadow Riders and and then has the single prize Grass one as well.
the Shadow Rider.
That Calyrex does.
So how do you? I would group in this. I would group in this.
I think so. I think the obviously Glastrier is Glastrier, Spectre is Spectre, Calyrex Calyrex. But then I think the Shadow Rider Calyrex counts for both Calyrex and Spectrier, and Ice Rider Calyrex counts for both Calyrex and Glastrier.
All right, you're confusing me. All right, so what cards am I considering? Just tell me the cards we're considering as one group first, please.
So for Glastrier, it's
Okay.
the
So
Glastrier.
Glastrier, which wasn't that good. What
No,
else?
and then Ice Rider.
And Ice Rider, and those two to go together.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's Ice Riders was quite good, and I've
I'd
actually
say this
liked it a
is
lot.
B, somewhere like upper B.
Wait, so this is Glastier's thing here. So yeah, we have Duraludon. It's kind of similar. I'm gonna Dragapult. Yeah, it's in that range, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it ahead of those because I like it, but you don't have to do the same.
And
So,
then Spectrier is obviously Spectrier, and then Shadow Rider, which
yeah,
is
which is very good. So Spectrier, which is meh.
I'd say it's this right next to Glastrier, right below it. I think Shadow Rider
Below
was like the hottest deck in the game.
it
Like people
was,
were like, oh, it's gonna
but then fell off pretty hard too.
yeah. And I think
Okay,
The Spectre card is better than the Glastrier card as well.
okay,
By a noticeable margin. So maybe I'm ranking it too high, but I think B is fair.
okay.
And
And then what?
then Calyrex is Calyrex, and then both Ice Rider and Shadow Rider, I'd say.
Wait, so wait, what? All right, so now, so what icons am I dragging around? You've really got me confused here. I thought we had just ranked two things.
Yeah, we just did, and then we have the last one,
Okay,
which
so go ahead.
is
What's the last one?
so this one is which is
Is
this
this
is
weird gear?
Calyrex. No, this is Calyrex,
Okay,
which is the rider. The um
so
so
that's not a card though.
it does.
Is
Well, it
there a
has a card.
Calyrex
Yeah, there's a
card?
Calyrex card as well from Crown Zenith. 30 for 2, search the deck for 2 cards, put them into your hand. It's played in control every once in a while. And then I'm also counting the actual Ice Rider Shadow Rider Calyrex cards. Um,
We just
so
did those, I
yeah,
thought.
but they're
Yeah.
kind of like tag teams. The Calyrex cards are like tag teams. Because they have
So,
2
well,
Pokemon
so
on
like,
them. They have like
okay,
if you pull up the art of like Shadow Rider, you'll
all
see
right, all right,
there's
all right. I'm just okay. This is a bit absurd. Okay,
it's not
so
that it's just
fine.
it's just how the Pokemon works.
So Calyrex, but this doesn't include the Spec tier and the Glass tier, but it includes Shadow Rider and Ice Rider
Yeah,
together. So obviously
Calyrex.
it's better
Yeah, I think this
than
is
Ice
S.
Rider.
I think
This
this
is
is
because of Ice Rider and Shadow Rider. The
yeah,
Calyrex
yeah,
itself
they're
is
very good.
nothing good. So like
It's not
bottom,
that bad.
well, is it above Cramorant?
I'd say it's above Cramorant.
Worse than Urshifu.
Yeah, worse than this show.
Okay, and that's it
There we go.
on this thing.
That
So what
fast
about
little.
Weird and stuff? How come I see
No,
Weird on this?
those are the Hisuian
I'm just
Pokemon.
saying I got these from online, so
Wait,
so
what
don't
did?
go by what's online. Okay,
No, well they are
those are the ones not
they're
counted.
Gen 8, but they're not like.
All right, that's fine.
Should
Look, we've
this have been
gone.
longer?
No, we don't want to make it longer. I'm just trying to understand what I've done here because we
Yeah,
ended
this
this with a big train wreck with these Calyrexes
and you're
that
like
was
confused
not pretty. Yes. Well, yeah.
because
I
if you
I
look at
think
the
we
art
both
of
take some blame to it
I think well no I think you
on
take
that.
blame. See, look at the art of like the look at the base art of the Shadow Rider. You
I
see a
think
horse.
these are. I think we're talking about the trading card game. So there's a card. It should be under one thing. I think that makes sense. That's what I would have said. But
I don't know, but you didn't say which thing, so
well, I, I
I think it makes sense because
it's
Shadow Rider has because it has 2 Pokemon on the thing.
uh, yeah. So if we were doing the tag team era, we'd have multiple things. It would get even
Yeah,
messier then, huh? Everything would be all over the place.
maybe. Yeah,
Okay. That's how you
yeah.
want it. All right.
Uh-huh.
So there we have the definitive list of the Gen 8 cards, which is up to date. It will continue to evolve over time. So, we can do this every new set. We look forward to doing that,
Yeah, so
correct?
tell us if you want us to do this again or if you don't, and what we should do to change it so we don't take up
Yeah.
2 hours. But we hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, consider subscribing to our channels, commenting down below, of course, as always, your thoughts on this tier list, and
Yeah.
also any other suggestions on the Uncommon Fossil or 10 Types YouTube channels. You can listen to
Yeah.
the podcast on Spotify as well and stuff like that.
Yes. And look, we're not usually this long. So if you've gotten here, thank you very much and take care.
See ya.